Hey, Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome to Civilization 6 as China. Seaside City is about to be settled, and where we left off last time, we'd managed to get a golden age, and our plan was to do a nice old land grab, just to get as much land as possible to generate tourism. And I think that is still the current goal. And so to that end, there's going to be a little bit of development in my cities. I think I will probably only be getting a harbour in Zhirong. That'll be like the only district I actually go for here. Otherwise, everything else will be stripped bare and left essentially ready for seaside resorts. One thing I do need to consider is, do I want to build any great walls? They're quite efficient when it comes to tourism generation, like on flatland, but you do need like a big string of them to really be good. And it's kind of a hard thing to get a string of. There's like a few places that you could maybe consider one. Like there's quite a good Great Wall running along this mountain range here. So we could make that work. Things like that are going to be things I have to consider. It's like, how do I get as much tourism out of my land as possible? How do I really, really, really just get as much tourism as I can? All right, this caravel is taking a little bit too much damage. So let's go ahead and make friends with this caravel, move it here, promote it with extra strength against naval units, and then it should be fine. It would be nice to pick up industrialization, mostly for that +1 production to mine improvements, which will speed up the rate at which I pick up all the infrastructure in the central area of my cities. I don't like this musketman. Let's try and sidestep him. I need to think about what I'm going to send down here to the south. Let's get this man-at-arms going with this crossbow. I need more garrison units, that's for sure. Although the garrison boost thing, the extra retainers amenity, that's going away soon, so maybe I don't need to optimize for it. I might go ahead and send my caravel into the vortex, their Bermuda Triangle. Now we built the Great Wall. I could have built a Great Wall chunk earlier to get a gold. Oh, I could have built a Great Wall chunk to get a golden age really early into the game. That's where I messed up. I didn't think about that. But we did just get a whole bunch of warrior monks. We finished the Kotoku Inn, which means we get a whole bunch of warrior monks who can act as garrisons for us now. Which again is free amenities. Let's have a look here. I would love to build the Casa because it's 3 governor promotions. That's quite good. I don't think I can afford to not build infrastructure in my capital anymore, though. Like, I need to get my industrial zone. I need to get my theater squares. Like, industrialization is coming. I think I have to sacrifice not building these. I've just got too much other stuff that I need to build, especially when I've got 3 industrial city-states in my game. Like, that's crazy. 3 industrial city-states that I'm suzerain of. Like, it's super worth it to do what I'm doing. My God, there's so many just ships down here. Jesus. Okay, we went through the Bermuda Triangle and we find ourselves near Barbarian Tundra Island. I swear to God, every Tundra Island in this game is always just filled with like random barbs. There is something to be said for doing like a row of Great Wall chunks. Let me have a think about that. Now, Great Walls, I believe, let's take a look at it so we can kind of make a decision about it. +2 culture from each adjacent Great Wall. That means 4 tourism per, which is on par with seaside resorts, honestly, now that I'm like thinking about it. So unless I go for Cristo Redentor, which I would like to get this game, Great Walls are equal to seaside resorts. That's something I should think about. Something I should keep rattling around inside the owl noggin. Let's buy this tile, we'll chop the forest, and we'll start building although again, these could have been great. These could have been seaside resorts. Put a forest here. Yeah, these could have been seaside resorts. I might have to change what I'm doing here a little bit. Let's grab another builder, the 7-charge builder. Hell yeah. We'll kind of like set up some optimizations here. So this is the optimization that I've come up with. And there may be more optimizations in time. But I think for now, this is fine. A little bit of seaside resorts around here. Interestingly, Lutetia is going independent as well. I don't think I will get that city. It's possible. It depends. I would be surprised if that one would try to flip towards me as well. Let's buy ourselves another couple of settlers to send down here to the south. There is room for like some really good seaside resorts in here. If I search for hills, we can kind of see where the coastal flatland is. And that's where we want to be settling on coastal hills, ideally, and then trying to get as many seaside resorts off of coastland hill. So this is actually a good spot to settle because it's on a coastland hill and it's all really high appeal. Like we could even do a national park in here, like a national park plus a couple of seasides. That's totally the plan, now that I've said it out loud. Honestly, I think this island might be less important to settle because the appeal is really bad from all the floodplains. So maybe I'll send this settler somewhere else up north. Hey, new Civic from a new era. There's civil engineering. That is a new card that we can plug in. 15% production towards wonders and a 30% production boost towards builders. Most importantly, we want that +2 builder charge thing. I'm looking forward to Chengdu now finishing the Chichen Itza because it will be just a very, very solid amount of yields. I may have overbuilt wonders. I think maybe China should build a lot of early wonders and then transition into a less wonder heavy game. I'd like to build Bolshoi Theater if I could. I think it is possible to overbuild wonders. And I think there's a huge tempo loss for China to overbuild wonders. And I think I overbuilt. But that's okay. That's part of the learning process that we figure out as we go. And then we'll do a little bit more chopping to get these holy sites done. Remember, faith doesn't just represent faith. It also represents a huge boost to my science, my culture, and my gold. Because I have the secret society that converts them. Something to be said of settling on Thebes for era score. On the same island as Thebes, rather. I may just settle a city on this island regardless. Just so no one else will. That way I control more land. I prevent enemies from generating culture. I have my first spy. Maybe I could steal some gold from somebody. And yeah, look at that. Mansa Musa. Easily steal gold from Mansa. Harbour chopped out in Zhurong. I'm going to go ahead and just buy the lighthouse so the city can grow. And then I'll get to work on the granary and old world obelisk, and then eventually I'll buy a shipyard in here when I have the spare gold. I still haven't met the last player, which is kind of annoying me, because I'd like to meet them. I'd like to know who they are. I'd also like to find more city-states, but I'm having a feeling that maybe some of them were killed. Commercial hub finished in Shanghai. Let's go ahead and purchase the market. Must be built... Oh, I need to swap the tile. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, I swap the tile. Boom. We get started on the Great Zimbabwe. Can I do any tile switching in here? No. I think I'll go granary first so the city can continue to grow. And I'll swap like a tile to keep this city growing and producing. Alrighty, we got our old god obelisk in Duro Korteron. Oh my god, why is that so unpronounceable? Let's make sure we get as many rainforests in this city. Okay, we control all the rainforests. And now, what do we do in the city? I definitely feel like we could justify a commercial hub. That's like a pretty good commercial hub right there. Let's get started on that. But I think we need a builder first to actually like improve this city's production. We could plug in liberalism to get some extra amenities. That's like empire-wide yields. Seems quite good. Or I could move triangular trade up and plug in a new card like Vissobank and then get some alliances. Personally, I like the idea of getting the amenities. So I'll stay on liberalism. I'll stay on triangular trade. I don't need to change anything here. I think my government is mostly fine. You could maybe justify plugging in some of these wild cards. I think my government is mostly fine. It's probably not perfectly optimal, but I don't need every single government in every single game to be perfectly optimal. I need them to just do well. They need to be good enough. Good enough is the enemy of perfect. Hey, welcome to the very first industrial zone, and it is a +5. Now that is solid production. That's going to carry me through things. Do I go for the workshop? I think we do. No, I want the theater square, and then I'll go for the workshop. Theater square is like super high value for me right now. Let's start getting some kills and clear this island off, hopefully. Ethiopia is mad that I quote-unquote forward settled them, aka I settled near them, like they're super mad about it. How have I not met this last player? So there's industrialization giving us our +1 production to all mines, so our production rate just went up significantly. And we also have access to factories and coal power plants. We definitely want a factory or two, but I swear to God, the most important thing that I want right now is to actually find that last player. It's like the lost city of Atlantis, like the lost player of Civ. Like where are they? Where is this player? I can't find them. There's nothing I can do. Okay, so now we own Weldia. I'm going to go ahead and put just a couple envoys in Fez. 3 will do. I don't need to be Suzerain of Fez. I would like to be Suzerain of Mexico, though, because I am going for industrial zones and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and purchase the workshop, and we can get the factory and stuff faster and faster. I'm going to go ahead and unlock Renaissance walls. The potential for a city center World Congress boost is there, so it is, you know, it could have paid dividends if I were to pay attention and to get that online. I think I want to get archaeological museum this game, a few archaeological museums and a few art museums and stuff like that. Pop down this city. What a great city. Do you want a hot take? I think the preserve, the buildings in the preserve, like the Grove and Sanctuary, these should give some sort of bonus to adjacent coastal tiles, like the breathtaking thing, maybe it would be like +1 faith and culture to adjacent coastal tiles. And maybe with the sanctuary, maybe it would be like +1 science gold in production to adjacent coastal tiles. Not quite as good as like breathtaking tiles, but like okay, like a pretty reasonable bonus. I think I'd prefer it if the game did that. That'd be something that I would like. Everyone is super mad that I'm settling everywhere. Like they're just like, I don't want to go to war with Robert the Bruce. Bro, I'm trying to play a peaceful game here, okay? You're harshing my vibe. There's Kilwa. Kilwa is huge. So picking up Kilwa Kisawani, how it works is it gives you a 15% production boost in the city it's built in if you're suzerain of a single city-state of a particular type, right? So since I'm a suzerain of an industrial city-state, this city is getting a 15% production boost towards building. You can see here, if I double-click this, making 30 production. If I get started on a watermill, boom, boom, now it's making 39 production, right? But if you're suzerain of 2 or more city-states, it's a 30% boost in this city and a 15% boost across my entire empire. So my production rate when building buildings and wonders just went up 15% based on building Kilwa and being suzerain of these two things. And if I can find more city-states to make friends with, that's going to open up the game quite a bit for me. I'm going to use my gold to buy consulates and chancelleries here. And speaking of getting gold, I think the first thing I want to do is go ahead and see if there's any luxuries I can purchase. Yeah, I don't want to fall behind on luxuries. And I also want to see if I can maybe sell my own luxuries for a little bit of upfront cash, so I can do a couple of building purchases and maybe some strategics I can also drop off into other people's things. I'll take 34 gold per turn. No great works of writing to write home about in the trading screen. Okay, that's a lot of musketmen. I'm just saying it right now. That's a lot of musketmen. It's a lot of musketmen. It's just a lot of men with muskets. There's an awful lot of musketmen there, which is problematic for me. You know, there's something to be said about a great wall chunk here, but no, we won't. We'll optimize for forests here. We'll go like plant woods. We'll plant woods. I'm just going to plan out like how my coastline's going to look in terms of seaside resorts over here, which is like why this area was settled purely for seaside resorts. So that's how it's going to look. Honestly, these could be lumber mills. I may as well be lumber mills, to be honest with you. But at the very least, this will give you an idea of how this land is supposed to look. And it should also give you an idea of just how many build charges I'm going to need to not only strip the land, but then to rebuild it. But you can see what I'm going for here. Now over here, it's a little bit more difficult because I'm going to need to like strategically place forests. So I think I know where my forests are going here. There's one going here. There's one going there. I'm going to put the forests on the lowest appeal tiles that have less than 2 water adjacencies. And hopefully that will boost those other tiles up to the point. Now, I also want to go for Eiffel Tower. So that's kind of like... Now, the reason why I'm doing that, by the way, is because seaside resorts have a minimum breathtaking appeal. And breathtaking appeal is 4 or more. So that's kind of why you have to have a certain amount of appeal. Obviously, I can't plant forests until conservation, but I can start prepping my land in the near future. Harvest here. Make sure the commercial hub gets locked in, but we will finish that builder. It's quite a valuable 6 charge builder. All right, we're clearing off the island. I could save my settler to make landfall now. I knew it. I knew it was like Greece or somebody. I knew it was like Greece or Russia. Look at her culture per turn, that jerk. She's going to be the one I have to overcome in the culture victory. She's got 92 tourists already. She's second in the tourism victory. She's only 20 tourism behind me. There's always Greece in my culture games, man. I swear to God. I need someone to like go through my back catalog of videos and like check whenever I'm doing a culture victory, like how often does Greece appear in my game? Because I play with random civs so that I get a like kind of, you know, authentic civ experience where I don't have too much control over things. I mean, the only thing I basically gave myself this game was a stone so I could get Stonehenge in terms of like control. Because I'm a big fan of like randomized starts. It's why I like roguelikes and stuff like that. We did meet Granada. I could take suzerainty of Granada, and honestly, Alcazars are quite good. Let's have a look at Alcazars. And the question is it Alcazar better than... They provide 2 tourism per tile. That's actually worse than just a 2 tile. It's better if I can't put a great... It's better if I can't put at least 2 great walls adjacent to each other, then the Alcazar is better. But if I can put more than 2 great walls next to each other, then it's actually worse. I think that's the conclusion I'm going to draw there. I actually don't know where to settle this city on this island. Maybe like centrally. Just claim the whole island with a single city. That seems fine to me. Yeah, why not? Why not? Okay, this is exactly what I was hoping for, and it's exactly why I researched Renaissance walls. Now I'm going to be able to vote up city center. Okay, I'm going to put all my votes on this because I want it to be city center. And now I can super efficiently get my wall tourism. Otherwise, I don't really care like what else happens. I'm not going for a diplomatic win. This is like I'm playing China. It's a 100% tourism culture game. Right, so that means a government change is in order. Let's go ahead and unlock the government to do professional army. And I know I could have gotten it for free in 2 turns, but I want to start building my walls right now, super cheaply and super efficiently. So I'm going to go through every single city, and anything that isn't building a wonder is going to start building walls. So I can get those walls up because we're only a handful of turns. This is like the most efficient time to get these walls, essentially, is what I'm going to say here. Like I'm one-turning most of them. We've got walls going up across our empire. Let's grab Zheng He. We can use him for a little bit of exploration as well. Just a little admiral. He's still good. Looking at the appeal of this area, it's a little bit rough. There's definitely a national park incorporating these mountains. Like that's a very easy thing to pull off. And these are not hills, so I think we could maybe do something a little bit like this. Because I'm only like 2 or 3 techs away from radio. Well, 5 techs. Okay, sue me. I was off by a couple of techs. So this is all going to start happening soon. We're going to start hitting those late game milestones. I knew it. I knew she was the one who stole Oracle as well. God damn it. I could have had Oracle this game. I could have had Oracle. Oracle. Rogan. We circumnavigated the world. We guaranteed another golden age. Getting another golden age here is pretty good. I'm not selling you my relic. Get the hell out of here. How dare you even ask me that question? This is Pog. We just got ourselves the Chichen Itza. I am officially pogging out of control in this city. Look at these tiles. Oh my god. I don't even know if there's like a good angle to show them all. I do love a Chichen Itza. Very happy with this. This is like a quality city. This is the most satisfying thing you can do in the game is this kind of stuff. Is just make a really beautiful empire when it comes to yields. Unfortunately, this marsh will have to go in favor of a forest. I know it sucks, but it has to go. There's plans in place, okay? Pop down a city. Nice one. Once you get yourself a harbor eventually, but first things first, get your growth and culture on the rise. Siege tactics. We now have Renaissance walls as well as the Bolshoi theater. If we decide to go for it, I'm not sure I will. I've kind of my empire is a little bit constrained, right? There's limits to what I can pull off. And I have to kind of respect those limits. We are up now over 94 tourism. Speaking of which, tourism, by the way, which we had meant to do this era, is I wanted to come in here and purchase the Great Works of Writing from Dido. And I think I want to buy them for just straight up gold because they're actually cheaper that way. So what can I sell? There's always strategics you can sell for raw gold. And I can always just like take the money I just sold to Dido back by selling off strategics. See what I'm saying? And then I can come back in and I can continue to buy her Great Works of Writing to fill up my own coffers. Now, buying Great Works of Writing is important for 2 really critical reasons. First of all, it increases my culture, which increases the rate at which I advance through the culture tree. Second of all, it increases my tourism, which increases the rate at which I generate tourists against my enemies. And third of all, it reduces Gorgo's culture, which reduces the rate at which she produces defensive tourists against my culture victory. So, for all those reasons, I have filled up my cities with beautiful relics. Sorry, not relics, writings. So this is the beginning of the upward slope, and I wish this kind of a build worked on deity. It just doesn't, because look, it's turn 161, and like I would be in this same position in a deity game on turn 200. Like it would just be that different. It's that different. But I mean, it's a really fun build in a normal game, and I just wanted to show it off to people so that you could maybe do it in your own games. Maybe you could try it out because it is a cool and fun build. Whole lot of like random squiggly land over here available for settling. And yes, random squiggly land is a scientific term. Thank you. But yeah, I'm going to leave it off here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this series. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.